Yo guys, how's it going? We're back for another episode of our FIFA 20 career mode today with Newcastle United. Starting off today's episode with a training session just before this game, which is against AFC Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium in the Carabao Cup. Hopefully they're trying to get ourselves using a few of them players that we haven't really seen a lot of. We haven't really used in this season so far. Trying to see if any of them players are playing well, anything like that. Any sort of squad report really that we can pick out on any of these players that are giving us some game time in this one. Hopefully I see any of them players, see if they're playing well, if they're not, if they're playing well enough to even remain in the team. So this is basically them fighting for a position in the squad for this game. Obviously, I ain't too fussed about going too far in the cup, to be honest. That ain't my priority at the moment. But if we can use some of these players and they play well, show us what they're made of, basically. Like I say, a few of them players that we haven't used. Well, basically the whole squad, apart from Dubravka, I think it is, that we haven't actually used. And Federico Fernandez, he might have been used in a couple of games. But that is literally it, apart from... Oh, it's not even Dubravka in goal. It's Carl Darlow that is in goal for this game. So literally a fully changed side for us, to be fair, from what we normally use, as we see the AFC Bournemouth starting lineup, which we have two main men up front, obviously Wilson and King. King, a man that I really struggle defending against. I don't know what it is about him. I just seem to struggle so much defending against him. It's so difficult. But as you now see, our squad lining up there in the exact same formation, just a little bit of a switch round with the players, as you see there. Rolando Aarons is a player that I really want to progress and use for a lot of this career mode if I can. It'd be cool if I can, because he's a player that I really liked, and obviously a few seasons ago he was predicted to be like a really good player. Since then he hasn't really fulfilled that entitlement, as you see him in this first clip here in the second minute, as we win the ball back straight from their kickoff there, and we go charging up the pitch, but Rolando Aarons couldn't quite bend that one into that far corner, unluckily. But they do come forward on the attack of their own, try and get themselves back into this game in the 21st minute, and try and get themselves in the lead in this game. Obviously give them their fans something to cheer about, as they break forward with Callum Wilson, who tries to find his man and he blazes the ball over the bar. I'm not sure who the man is, but he did absolutely smash the ball over the bar there. And the defender nearly got there, not quite, but it's a good job that he didn't, to be fair, as you see Eddie Howe absolutely fuming on the sideline as that shot absolutely gets blazed over the bar. And they come forward on another attack here in the 35th minute with Wilson coming forward. He manages to keep the ball on. Dobre gets the shot off, and it gets absolutely... Oh, it was an absolute scuffer for shot there from Dobre. He really should be doing better. There's no excuse for the man there, as he blazes the ball wide of the post. It's an absolutely dreadful shot. He should be doing a hell of a lot better, but luckily for us, he didn't do so. And into the second half we go, as they get a bit of luck there, and that man that I was on about at the start of the episode, Josh King. I don't know what it is. I just struggle so much to defend against this man. Obviously, in this goal, it was a little bit forgiven because they got so much luck in this game. In this goal, as you see there, the first initial attempted pass gets bounced back off of King's foot, straight back to your man, who then slides the ball straight back through to King. And I don't know what man it was that were playing him onside. But honestly, whoever it was needs to be taken out of the squad straight away, because it's shocking that he somehow managed to stay onside for the whole of that encounter there. But even so, they are now 1-0 in the lead, and at the end of the day, we weren't playing well at all. As you see here, they do come forward again in the 73rd minute with Ibe getting the ball on that right-hand side. He gets the ball back off of Stacey, whips the ball in. Wilson takes the shot. It gets deflected, and the second man shot gets blocked from the defender, and Wilson buries the ball into the back of the net. But luckily for us, he was offside, and I reckon he should have left that, because I reckon it was going to go in the back of the net nevertheless, and it probably would have been a better chance if he had left it. But he didn't do so, and we come forward with Joel Linton. I was really hoping that was a decent effort, to be fair, from the young lad. But unluckily for us, it didn't end up in the back of the net, but literally straight from the that attempt, we have another one, and Joel Linton comes forward again. And I thought that Travers were going to come out and actually try and take the ball off of me there. He didn't do so, and that chip ended up being absolutely pointless, to be honest. And we do go into the last literally minute of the game, where Wilson takes an absolutely perfect touch and has no shadow of a doubt of absolutely rifling that one into the back of the net. There was no chance that Carl Darlow was saving that one whatsoever, as he takes a perfect touch there. I'm so impressed with that touch, honestly, and he absolutely rifles the ball. He says, I messed up in the last one with the last goal, I'm not messing this one up, and absolutely buries it into that right corner. There was no chance of Darlow saving it, and it does mean that we are basically guaranteed to be out at this point, as it basically straight from kickoff, as you will see here, it is the end of the game, and we do end up losing and getting knocked out of the EFL Cup with the third round defeat. Literally our first round in the cup, we get defeated, and that makeshift side, that I guess we would call it, the team that is literally just a mismatch of just players that we ain't really using at the minute, really showed themselves up, to be honest, because I don't think they were playing their full strength 11, as I don't think it was their full strength back line, and they really didn't do very well at all, to be honest. Attacking wise, this game was absolutely dreadful for us. I was so horrified by the performance the team put in attacking wise. The defensive wise, obviously they were just absolutely smashing us with attempts. We didn't do too bad to only concede 2 goals, but attacking wise was dreadful, absolutely woeful. As we go into the press conference here, we obviously have a few questions from your boy saying about what player their best player was, which they named to be Butcher in this game, which I didn't really notice him in the game, I ain't gonna lie. They passed the ball around quite nicely in the middle to keep the ball, but I didn't really notice him. I would have gone with the other man that was in the centre. I can't remember his name, but there was another man in the centre that I definitely would have chose over him. But anyway, we do go into the second and final game of today's episode, which is against my club, Leicester City. Obviously, in real life, flying high at the top of the table right now in 3rd position, which I am so happy about. They really, in the past couple of games, I'll give it that they haven't really performed as well as I'd like them to, but hopefully they can get back under that form as soon as possible. Hopefully on the weekend, I really hope so. But anyway, we do carry on into this game, as Leicester have pretty much a fully changed side as well, to be fair. They have a few makeshift positions as well, as a new signing in Yanazai and Nathan Ake on the bench as well, which is 2 mans that have clearly been signed from Brendan Rodgers in this transfer window, which are 2 not bad signings. I would take that in real life fully. But they do have makeshift players in there. As you would have seen, Kaputska, who is a cam, is playing as a striker. And then the man that you'd expect to be as a striker, which is Iheanacho, is playing as a centre mid, which I don't know what's going on there, but it's their choice at the end of the day. And they do have one of the first chances of the game, where they try and come forward. It's Damari Gray, a man that I really do like. I really like the way he pushes forward and gets forward for the boys. And he breaks forward just like that. Gets across him, but luckily for us, Kaputska can't put the ball beyond Dubravka. We do get intercepted from that throw-in, an attacking throw-in, and Kelechi Iheanacho using his pace to break down that left-hand side. We managed to get a tackle in just there from Hayden, as they managed to take a deft touch there from Fuchs. That was absolutely honestly on point as Kaputska finds James Maddison, who finds a beautiful ball out to Demarai Gray. He cuts past his man, finds Kelechi Iheanacho, sits his man down, takes the shot. Dubravka makes the save, but he doesn't make the second one as James Maddison buries the ball into the back of the net with a bit of a half volley there. I don't know where the defenders were, to be honest, because, to be fair, it seemed like a quite decent save from Dubravka. A defender should have got there. There's no question that a defender should have got there. And they literally, with that one attack, literally ripped me open with some perfect passing. It was absolutely death passing there from the boys. It was a very nice piece of build-up play and a very nice finish at the end of it as well, to be fair, from James Maddison. Hopefully a player that we can see in the England squad very shortly. And that was his first goal of the season, which I'm quite surprised about, to be fair. But it was a very nice finish nonetheless, and we do try and get ourselves back into the game. It's not happening right now, though. It's Demarai Gray who, again, is breaking forward. Fabian Schär manages to win the ball back. We lose it. Kaputska makes the shot. But luckily for us, your boy in goal, Martin Dubravka, makes the save to keep us from going 2-0 down at this point. Tarkowski couldn't quite get his leg high enough to block the shot at the first instant, but Dubravka makes sure he gets both hands to it and turns it wide of the goal, and the corner ends up amounting to nothing. But as you see here, again, it was another game where it was all the opposition, and Leicester coming forward again with James Maddison into Kelechi Iheanacho in the 31st minute. Matty James finds Demarai Gray, who finds Kaputska, and what a finish that would have been. If that had found its way into the back of the net, I think I would have called it a day there and then. If that had gone 2-0 there, it was a very decent effort from the young lad, the young Polish man in the midfield. A very decent effort, but unluckily it doesn't quite go in the back of the net for them. But luckily for us, it didn't. So we've got to come forward and try and put a little bit of pressure on them at least. As Almiron finds John Joe Shelvey, who finds Hayden. We try and spread it out wide. It's a nice piece of play there from Phillips. Joel Linton takes the shot, but it does go just wide of the post and just over the bar as well, I believe. A decent piece of play, to be honest. It's one of them things where it's a decent effort from Joel Linton, but it wasn't a very good chance, if that makes sense. But we do try and come forward again in the 39th minute. Just a few moments later, Jethro Willems breaking down that left-hand side against James Justin, cuts it back for Almiron, who tries to take around his man. He does exactly that. He gets the ball off to John Joe Shelvey, who makes the save. Is Jakob, I can't remember his name, but I absolutely butchered that. But Almiron does find the back of the net to make it 1-0 in this game. 1-0, 1 apiece in this game, shall I say. Fucking everything up right now, but a decent effort there. It wasn't a very good effort there from John Joe Shelvey. I'm gonna admit it. It was pretty much straight at the keeper, and the keeper definitely should have done better there. As Almiron manages to bundle the ball into the back of the net. I was surprised he wasn't actually offside in that instance, but I'll take it nonetheless. And he finds his 5th goal of the season, so well done to that man there. Just before half-time, getting us back on level peggings, and just after half-time, we do come forward again, trying to break forward with DeAndre Yedlin, who absolutely outpaces everyone here, gets past his man and keeps going, charges into the middle, finds Almiron, who takes the shot, and it wasn't a bad effort there, to be fair. The keeper did have to make a save. I don't think it was going in the back of the net, I ain't gonna lie, but it was not a bad effort, to be fair, from where we were. It's a nice attempt, and we do carry on the attacks with, again, Yedlin. It's Almiron who turns his man, and from one decent shot from Almiron, a goal from Almiron, he ends up having a clear-cut opportunity and absolutely fluffing it. But luckily, we do have another one, and it's Almiron again, and he takes a bad touch, and we get blocked twice there. Once from the keeper, after a bad touch from Almiron, and then Joe Linton, a perfect tackle from, I'm not sure who it was at the back, but it was an absolutely perfectly timed slide tackle to block Joe Linton's shot. And in the 68th minute, They do come forward, try and get themselves back in the lead with Matty James on the ball. He gets intercepted but manages to retain the ball. It's James Maddison. They're basically playing themselves backwards now, but as you see here, a lot of space got left because I was trying to put so much pressure on the man. It left so much space in the middle, and it was pretty much inevitable. Kaputska did get taken off for the goal scorer of this goal, Jamie Vardy, who finds the back of the net to make it 2-1, and 71 minutes in, we do find ourselves behind for the third time in this episode, the second time in this game, and honestly, that I don't know what I can say, to be honest, because I was trying to put so much pressure on the man in the middle, which was Matty James, and I thought, I've got to win this ball back. The amount of pressure we had on him, there was 2 men on him. I thought, I must be winning the ball back here. And somehow he manages to hold 2 men off and find a perfect pass. And honestly, I was pretty much speechless. As soon as that pass got laid off, I knew it was a goal. And that is, as you see, how the game ends. It does finish 2-1. And it was a very good performance there from Leicester, I ain't going to lie. There was a very hard team to contain. We couldn't get very many attacks. And I don't know if it's something to do with the formation or the teams that we played in this episode, but we really didn't do very well at all. As we go into the press conferences, obviously we lost both games in today's episode, which isn't the kind of form we want to be getting ourselves into. Obviously against 2 decent sides, I ain't gonna lie, and 2 teams that I do normally struggle against, to be fair. But we really should be doing better. Nevertheless, if it's teams I struggle against or not, I really should be doing better. I didn't do so. Maybe a little bit of a time to change up the tactics, because the thing that I really proved in this game is that this formation seems to let teams attack you and not let you attack the teams, if that makes sense. And it was really difficult to try and get that balance right. So hopefully in the coming episodes we'll be able to have a little bit of a change up, a little bit of a tinker with the tactics, and try and get ourselves back onto winning ways if something don't sort itself out quickly with this formation, as obviously we want to be using as many difficult tactics as we possibly can. But that is where we will end today's episode. If you have enjoyed, please do leave a like, subscribe if you are new. I'll catch you boys in the next one. Peace.